All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts here. Got another video for you. I want to say that basically I'm trying to do a series of videos. I'm not necessarily following a playbook, but what I am doing is I'm trying to show every angle you can compare players with, or just what did the all-time greats do, you know, achievements, that sort of thing. And once you add it all up, you should have a pretty good idea of who you think is at the top of that list. You know, a good idea who you think's top 5, top 10. Now I haven't done every player, but I've just did the ones that most people think are in around the top 10, give or take. So again, you know, this is not a narrative driven or anything like that. I know that, you know, it's got Michael Jordan written all over it, but I just go where the facts take me, and it just happens to always be Michael Jordan. Not in everything, but in a lot of things. Michael Jordan just, you know, had a better career than any player that you compare him to overall. But anyway, I appreciate it. Anybody watching my videos, if you're watching this, I take it that you just want to know, you know, the facts, not a narrative, not somebody trying to skew your opinion. They're just giving you what happened. You know, I'm just trying to give you what happened, not, you know, trying to influence your opinion and, you know, go making some wild take, you know. And I know this is the world of hot takes now and everything like that, but anyway, what I was going to get into is a couple things that not very many teams in the NBA have ever been able to pull off. Kind of a rare feat, not, you know, not impossible, but only a few teams have done these couple of things. So I looked it up, and I went back to the start of Bill Russell's career. So we're spanning about 65 or 66 years. And how many teams in NBA history beat both number one seeds in the West and the East? Now, you didn't always have that opportunity, because if you were the 1 seed, well, obviously you can't beat yourself, so that wouldn't work. There was maybe 15 or 20 times where you had the opportunity to do that. Like, for example, Michael Jordan was the 1 seed, you know, pretty much the whole 90s. Now, in 1990, they were the 2 seed. They lost to Detroit. Now, if they would have beat Detroit, actually, no, that wouldn't work either, because Portland upset the Lakers in 1990. That wouldn't work. But LeBron James, for sure, in 2014, 2015, and 2017, had an opportunity to beat both number 1 seeds. And, you know, that didn't happen, but whatever, that's okay. The teams that did beat both number 1 seeds in the same year, the 1966 Boston Celtics, the 77 Trailblazers, that was when they beat the Lakers with Kareem, and then they beat Dr. J and George McGinnis's 76ers. The 93 Bulls, who beat the Knicks and then Phoenix. The 95 Rockets, who they beat San Antonio and then they beat Orlando. The Lakers of 01 and 02. Now, you know, there's been people that have said recently, and it could be true, that, you know, they weren't as concerned about getting the number 1 seed and all that. They were just kind of resting for the playoffs, and, you know, that might all be true. But technically, they beat both number 1 seeds in 01 and 02. Clearly, the Lakers were the best team. We all know that. They had, you know, 2 of the top. By that time, it was probably 2 of the top 4 players in the league. You know, I mean, maybe Duncan, Garnett were the other ones, something like that. But yeah, clearly the Lakers were the best team. You know, they had Phil Jackson, yada yada yada. The last team to do it, and the only team that's been able to pull this off in the last 21 years, is the 2019 Toronto Raptors. They did it. They beat the Bucks in the East Finals, and then they beat Golden State in the West in the Finals. So I thought that was pretty telling. And look, I know Durant was hurt and all that, but, you know, they won a championship without Durant in 2015. Then 3 years later, they won another one without Durant. I know it was some other, you know, a little bit different cast there. And Klay Thompson was out for, I think, 1 game. So people will bring that up, but they won't bring up, like, the Draymond Green suspension. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. This stuff happens. You know, if anybody is going to tell me that Golden State, oh man, they didn't have Klay and Durant, they benefited from a lot of injuries. Kevin Love and Kyrie in 2015. They benefited from Kawhi Leonard in Game 1 in 2017, which looked like the Spurs were going to give him, give him hell. And then in 2018, Chris Paul went down after they were down 3-2. So they have benefited from injuries, absolutely. So, they got a couple, it's like take the good with the bad kind of thing. The other thing that I was going to say was how many teams, this is about as rare, or players, however you want to look at it, won 3 straight road series. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be in the same year, but when you're a 5 or lower seed, or whatever, you could be the 3, they're the 2. Well, all right, yeah, sorry about that. Always interruptions at work sometimes, but anyway, winning 3 straight series when you are the lower seed and the other team has home court advantage on you. Not that many teams have won 3 or more. Not many at all. The 69 Celtics, they did it. They were the 4 seed. I think they beat the 3, the 2, and the Lakers in the finals, but whatever. 77 Portland. That was another remarkable runs. These are going to be some of the best runs. 69 Celtics, the 77 Portland Trailblazers, the 78 and the 79 Seattle. I think they won 2 in 78, and then I think they lost when they had the home court advantage, and then they won the 1 in 79, so they actually did win 3 straight. 81 Houston, that was an interesting one. They ended up beating the Showtime Lakers. I know Magic was a little injured, but still. 40 and 42 team that got all the way to the finals and played Boston and lost in 6. It was a very good run. The 95 Houston Rockets, they won 4 straight. They were the only team I could find who won 4 straight on the road. So that one, like I said, this one, the 69 Celtics, are got to be the 2 best runs of all time. The 99 Knicks, they won 3 straight till running into San Antonio without Ewing. The 04 and into the 05 Pistons, I think they beat the Indiana Pacers in the 04 Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Lakers in the finals, and then they beat I think it was Miami in 05 because Miami had the better record. They just got Shaq. So the Pistons, continued that streak of, being a lower seed. Now, if you win 2, as the lower seed, and then you lose 1 at home as the home seed, and then you lose or win the next one as the road seed, well, that's 3 straight. I'm just talking about consecutive road series where you're the lower seed and you don't have home court advantage. Michael Jordan, not necessarily a team, but Michael Jordan did it in 93. He beat the Knicks and the Suns. He didn't play again until 95. And he beat Charlotte, who was the 4 seed, had home court advantage. And the Bulls were the 5 seed. And the Bulls won. So technically, Michael Jordan won 3 straight road series. Again, there's only been done 8 times ever. So it's, kind of a rare accomplishment. And I know what everybody's thinking, the LeBron stuff. Did LeBron ever do it? LeBron only ever won more than 1 in any run in 2018. And I'm not going to make excuses, but, they beat Toronto, the 1 seed, fair and square. They whooped them. They beat them. That was a very good effort by Cleveland. And then in the finals, yeah, I know, Boston didn't have Kyrie Irving, but they did win that series to give them 2 straight. Now, Jordan also has a 2 straight in 89 when he was the 6 seed, beat Cleveland the 3 seed, and then Knicks the 2 seed. So he does have a 2 in a row, but also that 3 in a row, which puts him in this group. But going by that, you'd have to say that Houston had the best run, winning 4 straight road series. But of course, there was only 3 series back in 1969. But again, you make up your own mind about this stuff. It's hard to really say who had the best run. But again, these are 2 things I showed you. 3 straight road playoff series. It's been done 8 times. Jordan did it, 1 of the 8. And then the other one being the beating both number 1 seeds. It's been done 7 times, at least in the last 60-some years. And the 93 Bulls are a part of that too. So again, all these different angles I've looked at, Jordan just happens to be on a lot of them. I was actually going for, when I was doing this research of who had the best run, who could definitively say, and it came down to me. I'd say the Mavericks of 2011 was a really good one too. That'd probably be third. I would probably go Boston in '69 number 2 and Houston in '95 number 1. But I mean, I can't argue about that '69 Boston run. They beat 8 top 75 players in their primes. I mean, Elgin Baylor might have been towards the end of his prime, but he was still in his prime, and they took him down, and they didn't have Tommy Heinsohn anymore. They didn't have Kuzi anymore. Yeah, they still had Havlicek and Sam Jones, and plethora of other really good players, role players, whatever. But they were the 4 seed in the East in '69. That's what I try to tell people. They were the 4. Houston in '95 was the 6 seed, but it's deceiving because they got Clyde Drexler 2/3 of the way through. And then, they played good ball the rest of the season. And then, of course, in the playoffs, winning a game 5 and, a game, I guess they won in 5 in the first round, 6, and then 7, and swept Orlando. But anyway, that was a great run. So that's going to be it for this video. It was kind of an impromptu one. I was researching about one thing. It led me to another. But anyway, just want to get it out there. And until next time.